Hello, everyone. I'm Chuck Cook. I'm president of RenovoData. I'm a certified business continuity planner and happy to share with you some helpful hints and tips about your recovery strategy versus your recovery solution. Today, we're going to cover, number one, just the importance of having a recovery strategy in place. Secondly, the difference between your strategy and your solutions. And third, what are the basic elements you should have in your recovery plan? Fourth, we're actually going to talk through some examples of backup and recovery solutions and what they buy you and what they don't buy you. And then lastly, what can you do to align your solutions to make sure they're living up to your plan? So let's jump right in. Why even bother, right? Well, your business is at risk. It's estimated that when an SMB suffers a malware attack, which is the most common data destruction event that we're seeing these days, and they don't have a disaster recovery strategy, about half of them can go out of business as a result of this data loss event. Then you layer on, Gartner did a study and found that only about a third of SMBs actually had a recovery plan in place. And then you start looking at, well, 60% of the organizations that do have backups, they keep all the data in one place. Well, if that backup repository is impacted in some way or fails you, now you've been in a situation where you have harm that you may not get out of. And then, of course, to put icing on the cake, year over year, ransomware attacks keep increasing, and we don't have the latest version for 22 over 21, but in 2021, ransomware attacks increased 93% over the prior year. So when we take a look at things, we're trying to use an opportunity like this to back up and have a holistic look at where am I as an organization? So this infographic is to illustrate your recovery likelihood, and you see that dotted bell curve going up versus your recovery readiness, and that's the levels. So the level 1 organization is at most risk. They have maybe no backups at all, or maybe minimal, and they don't have a plan. Their organization is at high risk of going out of business or being severely impacted, impacting the ability to, profits, growth, hiring. We don't want to be in this category, right? Now let's talk about a level 2 organization. This is a very common place for organizations, especially if you're a smaller or mid-size intermediary or 3PL. So imagine you have some sort of protection. You have this backup thing over here, and you got some antivirus over there. There's some disparate things in place, and I'm going to call my IT guy, but that's all you have in terms of a plan. You are still in a reactive place where you may or may not recover. Level 3 and up, this is where that bell curve really comes up. Your recovery likelihood is greatly increased by being a little more prepared, having some clear recovery procedures, having objectives in place, recovery point objectives and recovery time objectives. But you're still prone to surprises, and things can happen, and maybe you can't recover all your data. Now let's talk about where we'd like you to be. A level 4, a level 5 organization. Not only do you have a plan, but it's well documented. And you have a scheduled test and a scheduled drill. You're doing proactive validation of your data and your plan. This provides you a really good likelihood of recovery, even in a terrible unforeseen event. And then finally, the level 5 organization where recovery is assured. This is where the culture of readiness is embedded in the company, and it starts from the top down. That means you not only have a plan, but you have solutions and a plan that are integrated, and the solutions can live up to the objectives that management's put in place. This level 5 type of organization has the highest likelihood of recovery, even when curveballs are thrown at them.